What's going on, people? Tony here, Football Fan TV, and we're back again yet on another episode. It's January, and you know the transfers are happening. We've had the summer transfers, also the January transfers are also moving in now. But in this episode today, I'm going to give you the 20 biggest transfers in the world in 2023. That was in the summer transfer window. So I'm going to be giving you 20 biggest transfers that happened this in the summer of last year, the biggest transfers. So basically, this episode is going to be about the biggest transfers that happened in the last summer. You already know what to do if you're on the channel here. First time, subscribe to the channel, like the thing, share, comment, and leave us a comment. Also, you're going to be telling us who your biggest transfers in the summer are. So the 20 biggest transfers in the summer of 2023 are here. Number one, Moses Caicedo from Brighton to Chelsea. Now it cost 100 million plus 15 million euros. Actually, not euros, but pounds in add-ons. So that is the biggest transfer that happened in the summer. Now Liverpool had 110 bid accepted, but then the player decided to join Chelsea. Whether it was the right choice, we don't know. Since he's still going to be moving on. So Caicedo is number one on the list. Declan Rice from West Ham to Arsenal. He's the second on the list. It cost Arsenal 100 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons. Now, Rice, I think Arsenal got a bargain with Rice because the performances he has been putting have been 7.5 out of 10. He has been a very good buy. He has fixed the midfield issues. He has connected the defense properly, and then offensively he has also been good because sometimes they use him as the left center mid, and he has been doing the job for Mikel Arteta's team. I think the third one is my best transfer of 2023 in the summer. Jude Bellingham. He left Borussia Dortmund for Real Madrid. It was 88 million plus 25 million in add-ons. Now, actually, it was a bargain because Bellingham currently has close to 17 goals and he has assists as well. So 17 goals for a midfielder in Madrid. He's now like their go-to man. At 22 years of age, he still has like 8 seasons that he's going to be playing at top level for Madrid. So I think this was a bargain. 88 millions plus 25 in add-ons is really a very good bargain. So Jude Bellingham is number 3 on the biggest transfers in the summer of 2023. Harry Kane left Tottenham finally for Bayern Munich. Was it the best move for him? I think yes, because he's going to touch silverware finally. So Bayern Munich paid 86 million plus 4 million pounds in add-ons for Harry Kane. Now the talisman finally left his boyhood club for a better club, man, because Spurs, those scumbags, I don't like Spurs. Actually, he was not going to win a trophy at Spurs. So Harry Kane is number 4 on the list. 86 million plus 4 million in add-ons. So the late shenanigans were not going to stop Bayern completing a club and record fee actually in the Bundesliga because they only wanted him and they got their man. He's firing, he's scoring a lot of goals, he's assisting, and the team is, I think, growing around him. Also, number 5, Neymar. Neymar Jr. left PSG for Al Hilal and the Saudi club paid 86.3 million. Mad, yeah, 86.3 million for Neymar, who finally left France and joined the Saudi league. In one of the least surprising developments of the summer, the Brazilian international Neymar left PSG to move to Saudi Pro League. He will earn over 129 million a year. Neymar earning 129 million a year. Yeah, those are just pounds like in a year. So I think that's a good move for him. And this signing came with a lot of bonuses. They gave him the cars he wanted. They gave him a house, and they gave him also, like, when Neymar says he wants to be off on a training day, I think Al Hilal gives him, and also they give him a lot of privileges, a lot of add-ons. There are bonuses in that deal. So 129 million a year is mad money for a 30-year-old footballer. Number 5, Josko Gvardiol. He joined Man City from Leipzig. I think he's now the second most expensive defender after Van Dijk and Maguire. So Maguire costed 80 millions, but then Gvardiol cost Man City 77 million. So at first, Leipzig wanted 100 millions, but then negotiations checked in, and then they had to come down to 77 million pounds. So Pep Guardiola has had the short of options at centre back because he has a lot of footballers there. He has Ake, he has Ruben Diaz, he has Akanji, then he has now Gvardiol. Even Walker can slot in. and he's I think it was a good addition. Though he has looked suspect when they've played him as a left back. He has looked a little bit suspect. They have been cooking him left, right, and center. But he's a good buy for them. Number seven on the biggest transfers of the summer 2023, Kai Havertz joined Arsenal from Chelsea. Now this one I didn't like it personally as an Arsenal fan. I didn't like this transfer, but at some point, like he was a player of the month for Arsenal in November. He had goals, crucial goals actually, and then they bought him because I think he's a dummy, or he's just like, yeah, he's a dummy in the pitch. They said he's very good when it comes to running behind, creating space for other players and all that. So Kai Havertz cost Arsenal 65 millions, and I think he's the highest paid player at Arsenal right now, around 300 million plus. Yet another player to switch from Chelsea to Arsenal after Jorginho joining ex-teammate actually Jorginho 6 months after he moved to the Emirates. This move is a bit strange actually, yeah, considering how poor Havertz has been for the Blues. Havertz was very poor last season for Chelsea, but Arteta got his man, and I think we know why he got Kai Havertz. Number 8 on the list is Randall Colomwani. He left Eintracht Frankfurt for PSG, 64.2 millions with 12 million add-ons, easy bonuses. So Colomani, the France star, made a late DS for the list dash for the list actually, completing a move to his hometown club on deadline day after doing all he could to force Eintracht Frankfurt to accept what PSG were offering. Colomani refused to train at one point when it looked like he might miss a unique chance for him, but Eintracht Frankfurt retained with PSG. PSG up their offer, and then they had to sell because the player had handed in a transfer request. He even refused to train for one of the trainings, and then they had to let him go. 64.2 plus 12 million in add-ons is not a bad deal for Colomwani, one of the most sought after strikers in the summer. But then he ended up joining his hometown PSG, the club. Number 9 is Rasmus Højlund. He has 2 goals in the Premier League now, and then he had 5 goals in the Champions League. So he joined Manchester United from Atalanta. It was 64 million plus 8 million in add-ons. Those are easy add-ons as well that can be achieved. So Man United needed to sign a striker in the summer, and you all know that. And while most of their supporters would have preferred Harry Kane, who left for Bayern, they settled for a relatively untested 19-year-old as a cheaper alternative. This is a massive. It was a massive gamble. But with the form he had in the Champions League, we wouldn't say it's a gamble because he was firing in the Champions League even if they're relegated from the group. So Rasmus Højlund is number 9 on the list. He cost Manu 64 million plus 8 million in add-ons. Number 10, Dominic Szoboszlai. I know you guys have issues with the name, but it's Dominic Szoboszlai. He joined Liverpool from Leipzig. It was 60 million. Actually, it was the release clause that Liverpool learned because I think many top teams wanted him at a point. Manu was linked to Szoboszlai, even Arsenal, even Manchester City. But Liverpool did their homework, and then they got to know that his contract had a release clause. They had to pay that money, and they got their player. He has been so good. I think I like him as a player. I really do like Dominic Szoboszlai. So he's number 10 on the list. Now, Jeremy Doku left Rennes for Manchester City in the summer of 2003 as well for 55.4 million. No add-ons or nothing, but that was the standard price. West Ham, Tottenham, and Chelsea were all said to be in for Doku. But you know what happened? He chose Manchester City. The 18 Cup Belgian winger became City's third summer signing after almost 3 years at Rennes, who made a fat profit on the 22 million they paid Anderlecht in 2020. So they paid 22 million for him when he was still at Anderlecht, but then they ended up selling him at 55 million. So that's just around 30 million euros in bonuses for him. Mason Mount is number 12 on the list. Left Chelsea, very controversial transfer as well. He has not been gunning like for Manchester United. He has been either injured or he has been off form, and he doesn't have a goal in the Premier League. He doesn't have even an assist in the Premier League. He had an assist in the Cup game in the Carabao. So Mason Mount left Chelsea for Manchester United in a deal worth 55 million plus 5 million in add-ons. That makes it altogether 60 million pounds. So it seems like a lot for a player with just a year remaining on the contract. Chelsea refused to give him a new contract because they wanted around 300,000 pounds per week, but Chelsea couldn't pay that money. They think he was not worth it. So he decided to leave Chelsea. He was only left with 1 year, and then Man U took advantage, but they paid a lot of money for him, basing the fact that he was only left with 1 year on his contract. But yeah, Mason Mount is number 12 on the list. He left Chelsea for Manchester United. Number 13 is Romeo Lavia. He left Chelsea. I mean, he left Southampton for Chelsea in the summer as well. Now he was linked with Liverpool, but then he decided to turn down Liverpool. Also, Arsenal was linked with him. He decided to go for Chelsea. He's yet to feature for Chelsea this season because he was signed when he was injured. He's still through his rehab, and then the rehabilitation. He'll get back to the team. I'm sure he's going to go through under 21 or under 23 football before he comes for Pochettino's men. Now he left Southampton for 53 million plus 5 millions in add-ons euros. So after having a summer of 2022 deadline day, 50 million bid predictably and understandably rejected by Southampton, Chelsea returned 1 year and the Saints relegation later to find the price had only slightly risen for them to do two of their favorite things. One, sign a footballer, and two, hijack Liverpool's attempts to sign a footballer. So Romeo Lavia is number 13. I actually like Romeo Lavia so much as a midfielder. He's a very good player. I would love him to have played maybe for my club and all that, but you know what happened. Matthias Nunes is number 14 on the list. He left Wolves for Manchester City. Now this transfer, I don't see it making sense. Man City, I think, was in desperate need of replacing Ilke Gundogan, who left for Barcelona. Now, they signed Nunes. Nunes, I think, doesn't suit Man City, but I think I'm going to stand to be corrected because Pep players normally take a season off, and then the next season is when they fire, when they actually know what he wants and they're going to play the way he wants them to play. So Nunes left Wolves for Man City in a deal worth 53 million, and actually happened. After he effectively went on strike, Wolves refused to sell. They were not willing to let him go, but then the player had to go on a strike so that he could be allowed to leave the team that he was playing for and join Manchester City, the treble winners. So why would you turn down treble? If Man City came sniffing around and they're like, we want to sign you, you wouldn't refuse. It's like pick Madrid right now. They won the treble. You would really want to join them. So number 15 is Sandro Tonali. He left AC Milan for Newcastle in a deal around 52 million plus 8 million in easy add-ons. Now, Tonali's transfer, I like Tonali as a player because now he's the most expensive Italian player that has ever been sold. Newcastle signed him, but I think they didn't do background checks on the betting scandal that he had. Now he's not playing. He's not playing for Newcastle because he has been banned for 10 months. So after the 10 months, that's when we're going to see him. But he came good. He came in, his debut was so good, scored a goal games after, and then he has been so instrumental in the midfield for Newcastle. So basically, I like Tonali, but I think Newcastle did not do the background checks. Now, there's some dispute over how much Milan will receive for the Italy midfielder, but the general consensus seems to be that Newcastle will cough up to 52 million upfront. That is upfront, with another 8 million to follow in a potential add-ons. Regardless, it was an offer Milan and Tonali felt unable to turn down, with the 23-year-old signing up for 5 years at St. James's Park. Now, those are the first 15. I said I'm going to be giving you 20 of the best or the biggest transfers that happened in the summer of 2023. Now, if you're liking the content, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button as well down there. Leave us a comment. Tell us a player that I've left out in the summer transfer window of 2023 that happened, and what you think about my list. Subscribe to the channel, share the thing, tell someone about the podcast as well. So number 16. Number 16 actually. Number 16 we have Malcolm. Malcolm left Zenit for Al Hilal, one of the players as well who left European football to go to Saudi. So he left in a transfer worth 51.4 million from Russia to Saudi for the Brazil winger. Now Al Hilal disclosed no financial details while welcoming Malcolm, but Zenit let slip that they will receive 60 million for the 26-year-old ex-Brazil star, or ex-Barca star. Is still a Brazilian anyway. Then on number 17, Octavio. He left Porto for Al Nassr as well. He's playing with Ronaldo as well, his Portuguese compatriot. So they signed him for 51.4 million euros. Now, just another casual massive money move completed for another Portuguese international by Ronaldo's club. So Al Hilal or Al Nassr actually got another Portuguese into the belt, and yeah, Octavio is going to be playing with Ronaldo. That was a good move, I think, for him money wise. But then career wise, I'm not certain about it because Octavio is still a very young footballer and he still has a lot of football to play, maybe in Europe and then some other parts of the world, but not Saudi. But you never know where the Saudi league is headed. Manuel Ugarte, he left Sporting for Paris Saint Germain in a deal worth 51.2 millions. The Uruguay midfielder Ugarte was wanted by Chelsea. Chelsea was actually close to getting him, but you know how transfers can shift so fast. He ended up joining PSG. Now Chelsea were so much interested in him, but they are reluctant to pay the release clause that Sporting had put in his contract, now opening the door for the French giants or champions to move in early July. So they got their player, and they got one over Chelsea. Hold that, Chelsea! You guys like hijacking transfers, so I think that was one for you to watch as well. I think you felt the pain. Actually, who Isaac and Johnny, they felt the pain as well. What we felt when you guys got Mudrik from Shakhtar and took him to Chelsea, that was the same pain. I think you guys felt. Good for you guys, man. Finally, Brennan Johnson, he left Nottingham Forest for the one and only Tottenham Hotspurs in a deal worth 47 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 47 million for Brennan Johnson. I like Johnson, but I think for Spurs, he has not been firing because they are playing him out wide. They're playing him either as the left winger or the right winger. But at Nottingham, you could see that he was a false nine or he was the lone striker. He suited their football so well, the counter attack, given that he's so athletic, he has proper pace and all that. So when he joined Spurs, he has not been in the goals. He has not been in the goals. Maybe assist, he has been there, but man, I think Nottingham suited him so well that he could counter attack, he could run, hit people on the counter, and he could score goals. He was their main man, and getting 47 million for him is actually good. And Spurs maybe has a player in him, and he's so young. He's 22, 23. So for the next maybe 5 years, he's going to be at Spurs and all that. So yeah, those were the top 20 biggest transfers that happened in the summer of 2023. That's what I wanted to give you today. Leave us a comment if you feel I left a player there. Also tell us what maybe you want me to talk about in the next podcast. You can as well give us a suggestion and all that. But yeah, Moses Caicedo, the biggest transfer in the summer of 2023. Tony No Gang Business, One Man Army here. Shout out to the whole Football Fan TV gang. You guys are amazing, and I hope to have you on the other pod. So